Hey, what's going on, y'all? Big Sarge, your host of the Sports Talk with Big Sarge podcast, available wherever you get your podcast from, and credential media member for Big Sarge Media LLC. Whew, doesn't that have a nice ring to it? All right, day 2 of the 2024 NFL Draft is complete. And although it's day 2, it's day 1 for the Houston Texans, as they had 3 picks in the second and third round today, as they drafted 2 defensive backs, Kamari Lassiter out of Georgia and Calen Bullock out of USC. And they also added to their offensive line room by drafting offensive tackle Blake Fisher out of Notre Dame. Now, one thing that I wanted to know from Houston Texans general manager Nick Caserio was, you can look at these guys on tape. When you bring them in and you talk to them and you interview them, do they have that swarm mentality? And here's what Nick Caserio had to say.
You'll see what happens tomorrow. Sorry, go ahead.
Nick, you said in the past that going into the draft, drafting players is kind of like a crapshoot. You can get lucky, you can be unlucky. So when you're drafting these guys, especially the ones that you drafted tonight, when you looked at them, did you see that they had that mindset that you all were looking for? You seen the tape, but sitting down talking to them, that they'd have that, what you all consider that swarm mentality?
Yes, Sarge, honestly, that's a huge part of it. Um, I would say Lassiter, I mean, this is like no question about it. I mean, this is like hands down. So it's actually a huge part of the calculus. And I think our players understand that as well. So when a player comes in the building, they know, they're aware. So are we consistent with our messaging? Are we doing what we say? Are we doing what we believe in? Are we espousing our philosophy at all levels? They know. So our responsibility is to, D'Amico and I's responsibility is to one another, and to the coaches, and in turn to the players. Because if you bring in a player that maybe has some question marks that you know ahead of time, the players are gonna look at you and say, all right, wait a minute, like, what's going on here, right? So do you practice what you preach? I know not to oversimplify, but it's a huge part of the decision making. And I would say specific to these 3 players, I mean, Lassiter without question, Bullock, I mean, great kid. I mean, he's young, but he's a great kid, cares a lot about football. I'm sure you guys will hear about his story. I mean, the fact that he's actually in the position that he is honestly like mind blowing. Like what he's had to endure, what he's been through. Fisher is a really solid kid. Um, Going back to what we talked about the other day, I mean, using information and talking to people. So, I mean, JP was a teammate of Blake's, so that's a good resource. So you can get all the information you want, talk to the school, talk to whomever. Okay, when you talk to somebody who was actually in the meeting room with him, what are your thoughts? That carries weight. So again, then it reinforces, all right, you know what, this guy fits what we're about. He fits our culture. He fits the swarm mindset. And if you start there, then you can put your head on a pillow at night and say, all right, it doesn't mean you're not going to take chances or maybe take risks, but you have to take calculated risks and then ultimately decide, all right, does this make sense for the entire building, the organization, and for our team? So to answer your question, it's absolutely important, and we certainly prioritize it because we should. And honestly, if you look around the league, look at how these teams are being put together. I mean, more and more teams are prioritized because in the end, you're going to win people, and when a game is on the line, are they dependable? Are they reliable? Are they going to do the right thing? Are they being consistent? Are they going to be able to handle the pressure? Are they going to be able to handle adversity? I mean, that's real. So we can say all we want about how much talent they have and all that, but in the end, like, it's about mental and physical toughness and your ability to perform under pressure when the stakes are the highest.
Making it to the NFL isn't all about just physicality, but it is a mindset, as you just heard Nick Caserio say. And you have to have that mentality that you are the best every time you step on that field. You've got to be ready and prepared for the person across from you to take their best shot. Kamari Lassiter letting people know by his jewelry who he is. Listen to what the meaning and the significance of his chain has to do with where he is and where he's made it to today.
And the chain, I call myself the locksmith, and I pride myself on having stuff on lock. So, I really wanted to get a lock and just put, the name Locksmith Lassiter on there, and then just kind of, say I got this on lock right now. So.
All right, I'm about to get up out of here. It's time for me to go. It's late. It's got dark outside. I need to get home. I'm sleepy. I got to get right back up and be back here for the final day of the 2024 NFL Draft right here at NRG Stadium. So I got to get home, y'all. But make sure you're following me on the app formerly known as Twitter at Big Sarge Sports with the Z at the end. Make sure you are following me on the Tick and the Talk at Big Sarge Media, my YouTube channel. Subscribe, Big Sarge Media, and don't forget to swing on over by that Big Sarge Media Substack newsletter that I have. It is amazing, if I do say so myself. Make sure you subscribe to the Sports Talk with Big Sarge podcast, available wherever you get your podcast from. I'm out.